Good evening, and welcome to Truth Report. I'm Alex Truth.
And I'm Maya Clarity. Tonight, we peel back the layers of official narratives to expose the often hidden agendas shaping our world. From the gleaming towers of Hong Kong's future to the strategic chess game of global diplomacy and the cutting edge of electric vehicle technology, we uncover the true power dynamics at play.
We'll examine how massive infrastructure projects are being fast-tracked, potentially at the cost of transparency, and who truly benefits from the grand visions painted by governments. We'll ask tough questions about the real motivations behind international policy shifts and the rapid rise of new industrial titans.
Our investigation today reveals a subtle but undeniable pattern: the intensifying global struggle for economic dominance and geopolitical influence. These aren't isolated incidents, but interconnected pieces of a larger puzzle, reflecting a world in flux, often with China at its strategic core.
Join us as we shine a light on the decisions being made in boardrooms and government offices, decisions that will impact millions, and scrutinize the official statements against the backdrop of cold, hard truth. Tonight, we expose the underlying currents shaping our collective future. First tonight, we turn our gaze to Hong Kong, where a colossal urban development project, the Northern Metropolis, is moving forward at an unprecedented pace. The government is pushing for a relatively flexible, legal framework to fast-track its development, raising red flags for anyone concerned with oversight and accountability.
Indeed, Alex. According to the South China Morning Post, Secretary for Development Bernadette Lin Hanho announced that this new framework will be tabled at the Legislative Council in late March. This comes just days after a staggering 30 billion Hong Kong dollars, roughly $3.8 billion was allocated in the city's budget for this ambitious mega-project, spanning 30,000 hectares in the new territories.
Relatively flexible, that's a phrase that often sends shivers down the spine of investigative journalists. It usually signals an intent to bypass standard regulatory processes, ostensibly for efficiency, but often opening doors to reduced scrutiny and potential corruption. When billions of public dollars are involved, flexibility can quickly become a liability.
And the sheer scale of this project, 30,000 hectares, is immense. This isn't just another housing development, it's a complete reshaping of a significant portion of Hong Kong's landscape. The idea of a fast-tracked legal framework for something so profound should immediately prompt questions about environmental impact assessments, community displacement, and land acquisition transparency.
Exactly. The government's stated goal is to accelerate development. But at what cost? Who defines what's flexible enough without compromising the integrity of land use, public consultation, or fiscal responsibility? This approach suggests a preference for speed over due diligence, a dangerous precedent for a project of this magnitude.
Historically, Hong Kong has prided itself on its robust legal system. Introducing a framework specifically designed to be flexible for a single project, especially one heavily funded by public money, risks undermining that very foundation. It creates an unequal playing field and raises concerns about the rule of law being tailored for convenience.
So, who truly benefits from this flexibility? While the government touts economic growth and new housing, the immediate beneficiaries are likely the large developers with close ties to the administration. Streamlined approvals and reduced red tape can mean massive profits for those positioned to capitalize on such a rapid expansion.
And conversely, who loses? Existing communities in the new territories could face displacement with less recourse. Environmental groups worry about the ecological impact on wetlands and rural areas, which might not receive adequate protection under a flexible framework. And ultimately, the Hong Kong taxpayers bear the financial risk.
This megaproject isn't just about housing or economic development for Hong Kong, it's deeply embedded in Beijing's broader strategic vision for the Greater Bay Area. The Northern Metropolis is designed to integrate Hong Kong more closely with mainland Chinese cities, shifting its focus away from its traditional role as a global financial hub and towards a more subservient regional economic node.
This is a clear manifestation of top-down economic planning, reminiscent of mainland China's approach to large-scale infrastructure. It signals a further erosion of Hong Kong's distinct administrative and legal autonomy, prioritizing integration and centralized control over local governance and public participation. The flexibility serves a larger, geopolitical agenda. Moving from infrastructure to lifestyle, our next story highlights Hong Kong's ambitious new strategy to woo big spenders by hosting a series of never-before-seen luxury fairs. The city aims to attract exhibitions on robotics, yachts, and small jets, positioning itself as an international exhibition hub, according to the South China Morning Post.
Secretary for Commerce and Economic Development Algernon Yao Inghua confirmed this push, following a 100 million Hong Kong dollars, or $12.78 million budget allocation specifically to attract large international exhibitions with new elements to Hong Kong. This initiative is clearly a direct response to a significant government investment.
The timing and nature of this initiative are telling. Hong Kong, grappling with the aftermath of political unrest and the implementation of the national security law, is aggressively trying to re-establish its image as a vibrant international city. The focus on luxury goods and high-tech displays seems designed to project an image of stability and affluence.
It's a deliberate pivot, isn't it? From a city once celebrated for its dynamic blend of East and West, a global financial gateway, Hong Kong now seems to be leaning heavily into becoming a playground for the ultra-rich, particularly from mainland China. The emphasis is on attracting wealth, rather than fostering broader economic resilience or addressing social disparities.
The question we must ask is whether this is a genuine strategy for long-term economic revitalization or a superficial rebranding exercise. While attracting high-net-worth individuals can certainly inject capital, it risks creating an even more stratified society, where the city caters to the elite while the needs of ordinary citizens are sidelined.
Who truly benefits from a robot, yacht, and private jet fare? Obviously, the luxury industries, exhibition organizers, and the high-end hospitality sector. These events provide a platform for opulent displays and exclusive networking, largely serving a very specific, wealthy demographic. The direct benefits for the average Hong Kong resident are far less clear.
On the flip side, the potential losers are the public who might see their tax dollars, the 100 million Hong Kong dollars allocated, spent on events that don't address pressing social issues like affordable housing, healthcare, or education. It underscores a growing disconnect between government priorities and the daily struggles of many Hong Kongers.
This strategy also speaks volumes about the broader power structures at play. Under increased Beijing influence, Hong Kong's government appears to be adopting economic policies that align with the mainland's drive to showcase its affluent class and technological prowess. It's about projecting an image of prosperity and control, rather than fostering genuine economic diversity or innovation from the ground up.
It's part of a larger narrative where Hong Kong is recalibrating its role within the Greater Bay Area, with its economic decisions increasingly reflecting Beijing's strategic imperatives. The emphasis on high-end consumption is a way to prove Hong Kong's continued economic value to the mainland, even as its political autonomy wanes.
From economic strategies in Hong Kong, we now shift our focus to the geopolitical chessboard, specifically the United States' renewed engagement on Tibet. The U.S. has appointed a new official to oversee its Tibet policy, a move analysts are interpreting as a signal of Washington's intent to play up the issue while dealing with Beijing.
That's right, Alex. According to the South China Morning Post, Riley Barnes, currently the Assistant Secretary for Democracy, Human Rights and Labor, has been named to this crucial role by Secretary of State Marco Rubio. This appointment comes despite President Donald Trump's previous cuts to foreign aid and a period of strategic détente with Beijing, making the timing particularly noteworthy.
The appointment of an Assistant Secretary for Democracy, Human Rights and Labor to this position certainly frames the narrative. It suggests a focus on humanitarian concerns and political freedoms, aligning with the long-standing international advocacy for human rights in Tibet. But is this genuinely about the welfare of the Tibetan people, or a strategic maneuver?
The context is everything here. Marco Rubio, a vocal China hawk, announcing this appointment points to a clear geopolitical calculus. In the high-stakes game of U.S.-China relations, human rights issues, particularly Tibet and Xinjiang, have frequently been deployed as leverage. This appointment fits squarely into that pattern of strategic competition.
So, the immediate question is, who benefits from this official appointment? On the surface, Tibetan advocacy groups and the international community concerned with human rights might see this as a positive development, a reaffirmation of U.S. commitment. It gives them a dedicated point of contact and potentially renewed diplomatic attention.
However, the primary beneficiary is arguably the United States itself. This move provides Washington with another diplomatic tool, another point of pressure to exert on Beijing amidst ongoing trade disputes, technological rivalry, and military posturing in the Indo-Pacific. It allows the U.S. to project moral leadership while pursuing its own strategic interests.
And the potential losers? Clearly, China views this as an unwelcome interference in its internal affairs, a challenge to its sovereignty over Tibet. It complicates any attempts at cooperation between the two global powers and risks escalating rhetorical exchanges, potentially with little tangible benefit for the Tibetan people on the ground.
Indeed, there's a risk that for Tibetans, this could be largely symbolic. Without concrete policy shifts or sustained international pressure beyond an official appointment, it could amount to rhetoric designed for external consumption, rather than substantive action. The true impact on those living under Chinese rule in Tibet remains to be seen.
This move underscores the broader power structures of U.S.-China rivalry. The U.S. is employing a classic diplomatic strategy, using human rights as a strategic bargaining chip, demonstrating that it's prepared to challenge China's legitimacy on multiple fronts. It's a clear signal that the era of strategic détente is, at best, a complex and highly conditional one.
It reflects a fundamental tension in U.S. foreign policy, where the stated ideals of democracy and human rights often intersect, and sometimes conflict, with the pragmatic demands of realpolitik and containing a rising global competitor. This official for Tibet policy is less about isolated advocacy and more about the ongoing great power competition. Our final story tonight takes us into the fast lane of technological innovation and global market ambitions. Chinese tech giant Xiaomi has unveiled its Vision Gran Turismo concept supercar at MWC 2026 in Barcelona, marking a historic moment as the first Chinese automaker to participate in the iconic racing game's concept car program.
This is a significant announcement, Maya. According to Electrek, the electric supercar concept sits on Xiaomi's own 900V silicon carbide platform, showcasing cutting-edge engineering. For a company primarily known for smartphones and consumer electronics, this move into high-performance electric vehicles is a powerful statement of intent.
The first Chinese automaker distinction is crucial here. It's not just about a new car, it's about national pride and demonstrating China's rapidly advancing technological capabilities. This isn't merely an entry into the automotive sector, it's a symbolic challenge to the established giants of luxury and performance vehicles, many of them Western.
Xiaomi's participation in Gran Turismo, a globally recognized platform for automotive design and engineering, immediately grants it significant international visibility and credibility. It's a clever way to bypass traditional market entry barriers and project an image of innovation and sophistication onto a global stage.
This isn't just a concept car for a game, it's a blueprint for Xiaomi's real-world automotive ambitions. The underlying 900V silicon carbide platform is a serious piece of technology, indicating a genuine commitment to advanced electric vehicle development. This is about capturing market share in a critical future industry.
So, who stands to benefit the most from this bold move? Clearly, Xiaomi itself gains immense brand prestige and validates its engineering prowess. China as a nation also benefits, showcasing its capacity to innovate and compete at the highest levels of advanced manufacturing, challenging the long-held dominance of nations like Germany, Japan, and the US in automotive excellence.
The consumers could also benefit from increased competition and accelerated technological advancements in the EV space. More players, especially those pushing boundaries with platforms like 900V SiC, typically lead to better products and more choices across the market.
On the other hand, the established global luxury and performance automakers, predominantly from Europe, Japan, and the US, stand to lose. This marks a new, serious competitor entering their exclusive domain, backed by the industrial might and strategic vision often associated with Chinese state-supported enterprises. It represents a direct threat to their market share and technological leadership.
This development directly connects to broader power structures, China's relentless drive to become a global technological superpower. It's a clear manifestation of state-backed industrial policy, even if Xiaomi is a private company, aiming to dominate key future industries and reduce reliance on foreign technology and brands. It's economic nationalism wrapped in sleek design.
The Xiaomi supercar isn't just about a vehicle, it's about the future of global manufacturing, innovation hubs, and economic leadership. It signals a profound shift in where cutting-edge technology is being developed and who is setting the standards for tomorrow's industries, with China firmly asserting its place at the forefront. Maya, looking at all four stories tonight, a compelling and somewhat unsettling pattern emerges. Whether it's the domestic development in Hong Kong, the diplomatic maneuvers in Washington, or the technological leaps from a Chinese giant, the underlying theme is a relentless pursuit of power and influence, often with China at its epicenter.
Absolutely, Alex. The Northern Metropolis and the luxury fairs in Hong Kong, presented as local economic initiatives, are in fact deeply intertwined with Beijing's strategic integration of the city into the Greater Bay Area. They illustrate a diminishing local autonomy, with Hong Kong's future increasingly dictated by mainland imperatives, prioritizing specific types of growth over broader public interest.
And the flexibility in legal frameworks for the metropolis, or the allocation of public funds for elite luxury shows, aren't just about efficiency or tourism. They are about projecting an image of stability and control, and streamlining processes to benefit specific interests aligned with the central government's vision, often at the expense of transparency and genuine local participation.
Then we have the U.S. appointment for Tibet policy. On the surface, it's about human rights. But our analysis reveals it as a carefully calculated strategic move by Washington to exert pressure on Beijing, a tool in the broader U.S.-China geopolitical rivalry. It's a powerful demonstration of how humanitarian concerns can be leveraged for national interests.
And Xiaomi's entry into the high-performance EV market isn't just a corporate diversification. It's a potent symbol of China's ambition to dominate future industries, challenging established global tech and automotive giants. It's a direct outcome of years of strategic investment and industrial policy, asserting technological supremacy on the world stage.
What we see across these seemingly disparate reports is a global landscape where economic development, human rights rhetoric, and technological innovation are all deeply enmeshed in a larger struggle for dominance. Governments and corporations are making decisions that shape our world, often with hidden agendas that prioritize power and profit over people.
This is the truth that often gets buried beneath official press releases and diplomatic statements. Our job, and the role of investigative journalism, is to expose these underlying currents, to ask who truly benefits, who loses, and what are the long-term implications for democracy, human rights, and the global balance of power.
The stories we've uncovered tonight reveal a world in a constant state of flux, where geopolitical forces and economic ambitions intertwine to shape our daily lives in ways we might not immediately perceive. It's a reminder that every grand project, every diplomatic appointment, and every technological breakthrough carries layers of intent beyond the surface.
We encourage our viewers to look beyond the headlines, to question the narratives, and to demand transparency from those in power. The truth is rarely simple, but it is always worth seeking. Your vigilance is our greatest asset.
Thank you for joining us on Truth Report. We'll be back next week with more investigations, digging deeper into the stories that matter most.
Good night.